Hi, I'm Nancy Nangeroni.
I'm Gordine McKenzie.
And this is GenderVision.
Lots of people making big bucks. You and me, babe, I see we're out of love. Well, I heard a voice from a high above. It don't cost a thing just to be in love. We don't have anything but love.
Hi folks, welcome back to another GenderVision. We have a very exciting program for you tonight. We're going to be talking about gender and politics and the 2008 presidential election. We have a great guest, so it's going to be a terrific show. I think, though, we're going to not have one of our guests, right? We're not going to have...
Raving Raven.
Yeah.
Raving Raven has flown south
So
and is still in the Southwest and couldn't be with us this week, but promises to be back next time.
All right, so we'll look forward to that. Gordine and I just spent a couple of weeks in the Southwest, so yeah, apparently Raven couldn't keep up with us. But we do have a terrific guest. Who's our guest tonight, Gordine?
I'm really happy to introduce Jane Caputi, who is an author, writer, and co-producer of a documentary film, The Pornography of Everyday Life. Jane is also a women's studies professor at Florida Atlantic University, where she teaches wonderful courses about the media, gender, race, and all kinds of things, and a longtime friend.
Right.
Welcome to GenderVision,
Thank you.
Jane.
Happy to be here.
Yeah.
Great to have you here.
Thank you.
And Jane, you have recently done an art exhibit. You curated it, you wrote it.
Yeah. I was the guest curator for an art exhibit called Political Three-Ring Circus. And the first ring of the circus, which I'm responsible for, focuses on all the commercial campaign paraphernalia that you can purchase on the internet and some other venues. So the T-shirts, the bumper stickers, the buttons, etc. And I don't collect them all. I just select the ones that use prejudicial caricatures of the candidates. This is a historic election. Thus far, as we all know, every candidate has been a white man. This year, we have, obviously, a great variety in the pretty good variety in the candidates.
It's been fantastic.
And so I thought that this would be something interesting to document, the kinds of prejudicial attitudes that are still, actually have always been around, but are being resurrected and reinvented around this. And mostly I operated out of a sense of outrage, because you won't believe some of the stuff that I've found.
So that was your inspiration. Were there other inspirations for the project?
Well, the inspiration, I was at a conference. I was touring with my idea of the pornography of everyday life, and I heard Bell Hooks, the African-American theorist, say that she had seen on the streets of New York a T-shirt, "I wish Hillary had married O.J." Yeah. Which we could spend the next half hour discussing all the implications of.
The implication, of course, that I wish Hillary had been murdered and was
snuffed
not available
out
to run.
Right, and also, of course, evoking a racist stereotype, again, of the black brute, the man who's more likely to injure women, which is, of course, untrue. It's a historical stereotype that has been post-slavery. And not to say anything about O.J. the man, but just using O.J. as sort of this almost an archetype, a contemporary archetype of that kind of threat, and putting him in there. So it's doing a whole lot of things on both a racist and a sexist level with that kind of T-shirt.
Wow.
So I thought, I've got to start looking at this. So I went on the internet, I talked to people, and I started collecting things. That's what...
Where do you collect all of these items from?
There were like 5 or 6 different sites just devoted to hating Hillary and generating anti-Hillary stuff. There's a few other... Not so much. Then there's this one place called Cafe Press, which says it has its finger on the pulse of popular culture America. And basically anybody, you or I or anybody, can design things. And then there's small groups that design things too and send them in to be purchased. So you're getting a wide variety of pro, anti, etc. I just, as I said, look for all the prejudicial stuff. But it's individuals out there who are putting their designs in. So it's real vernacular art, real popular culture.
Yeah, kind of a pulse on the cultural attitudes around gender, around race, and around the around the campaign.
And some of them, of course, are progressive. Others are extremely regressive, white supremacist, deeply sexist, very homophobic, classist. We're going to see a lot of class prejudice against Sarah Palin, others expressing race privilege, etc.
Interesting.
Fascinating. So we have
some to look at.
Slides, and we have a little bit of video too. So let's see what we got. Hopefully this will all work absolutely flawlessly. Good, we're on track.
Without a doubt.
Look at this. So here's our first slide here.
Yeah, that's the one. I actually bought it as a bumper sticker. You can get these things in a variety of forms, but there's I wish Hillary had married O.J. And then the next one I thought said a great deal. This is a T-shirt, Welcome to the Freak Show.
Wow.
And, you know, basically the way all this works is that there is a stereotype, a positive one, of the norm. And it's interesting, I could find no caricatures of Joe Biden. And again, this has nothing to say really about Joe Biden, whether we like him or don't like him. Yeah. But because he's white, he's straight, he's successful, he's Christian, he basically is supposed to be the norm. And then as this T-shirt indicates, that against the idea of the norm, we have the construction of the other or the freak. And then you can also see the way Hillary is being caricatured as sort of cackling and a little hysterical. These sort of sexist stereotypes of women, where Obama is shown as dark, lined, somewhat threatening.
Brooding,
again,
very brooding,
bringing up this idea of the dangerous black man.
Yeah.
So just the notion of having a black man running for president and having a woman running for president is freakish.
Yeah, it's freakish in and of, yeah, that's what this is saying.
Mm-hmm. And that's scary to me.
Oh,
to
yeah.
me, that's what's freakish.
Yeah.
Is that somebody would, you know, seriously think that.
And presidential campaigns have always had smears, always. When Thomas Jefferson was running against John Adams, one of his political hacks called John Adams a hermaphroditical, who had neither the full strength of a man nor the grace of a woman. I mean, so there have always been smears, and smears mostly rooted in gender and religion. But now that we have, again, a much wider field of candidates, you're also going to get seriously racist and deeply misogynist stereotypes going on as well.
You know, that was true in the Iraqi war, too, when they wanted to really defame Saddam Hussein. One of the things that they did was they put up a big billboard and they put hair and lipstick on a picture of Hussein, and then they used it for target practice. But first they had to feminize him. So there's that whole thing of feminizing the enemy, and which carries a lot of misogynist connotations in terms of what's, you know, women are bad, so we're going to denigrate men by making them more like women.
And the reason we talk about this on GenderVision is because, in fact, this is a good measure of the degree of discomfort in our culture around issues of gender and race. The fact that it comes out in this way is sort of a litmus or it's an indicator, it's a real thermometer on the temperature of the country around gender and race. And those are two areas where a lot of people are very uncomfortable.
Well, depending on how you're being caricatured or not in these images, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so
Shall we move on?
We can move on.
What do we got next?
This is actually from the 2004 presidential election, which I brought in to just give a little background, how don't be a girly man, vote Republican. So the threat that any, you know, normal so-called man is going to lose his manhood if he votes for a candidate of a party other than the Republicans.
Yeah, amazingly, they managed to portray Kerry as somehow less masculine than George Bush.
Right. Which is, again, an exercise in doublethink. The man who had actually been to war, which is seen as the classic.
Man who actually served versus the one who ducked out.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's a way of denigrating Democrats, too, and saying that they're too feminine, they're too soft, that we really need a man. And isn't that Arnold Schwarzenegger?
Yeah, he said something about being economic girly men or something like that. Yeah. And we can see the contrast with McCain is generally figured as a tough bastard, right? The toughness there. Once again, sort of normal, acceptable.
Manly
man. The manly man,
yeah.
But then you'll get Barack Obama caricatured in this way as a homegirl, right? And
my homegirl. Barack Obama is my homegirl.
Yeah, and again, in the exhibit I have over 200 items. And when you see them all together, it really is quite stunning. We don't have time for that here. But
and someday you're going to put this into a
film, we would hope so, yeah.
Yes.
We'll hope so.